Great. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. And thank Alexia for the new series. It's called Did You Know? Okay. And tonight is Did You Know that we have 640 muscles on the outside? Wow, that's a lot. And it was 54 years ago at Temple Medical College in Philadelphia that I took an elective. It was called Surgical Anatomy of the Back and Extremities. And when we did the vertebral column, there were literally hundreds of muscles on either side, bilateral, of the vertebral column called the erector spinae, hundreds of them, okay? So right off the bat, that's the lion's share of the 640 muscles in the body. Tiny little muscles that go from one vertebra to another, okay, to keep the spine erect. That's why they're called the erector spinae. The big point is that there's a lot of muscles in the body, 640, and they provide a kind of like infrastructure, if you will, to the whole body. It's kind of like visualize the Eiffel Tower, like this incredible scaffolding. And it's known that the average person who works out in a gym only uses 40 of the 640 muscles, just the major groups, biceps, triceps, hamstrings, quadriceps, pectoralis major, latissimus dorsi, just the major ones. But we're talking about 640 more muscles that have to be worked out. So what Alexia and I do is we call it the 640 workout to engage as many muscles as possible. And now this is the short version, okay, is 1, 2, 3. Number one is use as many joints as possible, kind of like a dancer, okay? Then as many muscles as possible, sort of one flowing movement, and then as many different planes, sagittal plane, coronal plane, in space. Many joints, many muscles, many planes, okay? To have the body of a dancer or a gymnast, that's the paragon, that's the model of excellence. And this is called functional training because you're training your whole body to work together like a symphony orchestra. Old school, just isolation. Today, I'm just going to do biceps. And now, the favorite part of the program, which everyone likes, Ask Alexia. For newcomers, Alexia loves to help people, especially seniors. And here's Alexia's pointer for the day. What Alexia says is that we have, as you know, 640 muscles on the outside, but Alexia's concern is the inside, okay? So for example, the whole digestive system is from one end to the other is muscle, okay? But let's focus in on the real centerpiece, the real workhorse of the digestive system, which is the small intestine. For those who heard our previous podcast, it's 20 feet long, stretch it out, it's as big as a football field. Let's focus in on the 20 feet of intestine, okay, common language called gut, okay? It's made out of muscle. What kind of muscle? Okay, is one band of muscle is longitudinal, this way. Another is cross, that's called transverse. And another is oblique, okay, kind of like plywood, 3 different layers. And the point which Alexia makes is that you gotta exercise that internal muscle, the small intestine. Just like you tone up the outside muscle, Alexia says you gotta tone up the inside muscle. And guess what tones up the inside muscle? Our old friend, fiber in the diet. So the muscles actually need a workout. They need resistance training. In other words, they need something to push against. That's the fiber. And a diet of highly refined carbs, your cakes and your puddings and soups and things like that, just doesn't give those the 3 layers of muscle enough resistance training. And then we all know what happens there is the gut expands, and then in some cases diverticulitis and all that, it loses tone. So that's Alexia's pointer, to make sure you have plenty of fiber, because that will actually tone up the inside muscle. So what Alexia says, it's important to tone up the outside muscle, 640 muscles, but just as important to tone up the inside muscle. And the key is our old friend, fiber. But then Alexia says you get a Christmas bonus when you do that, because you're also feeding your microbiome, and especially the soluble fiber. And when you do that, you are cranking out the whole array of these beautiful, beautiful chemicals called neurotransmitters, GABA to help you sleep, serotonin, the bliss chemical. So by doing Alexia's fiber in the diet, and she has a special program unto herself on 23 ingredients, when you're doing that, you get 2 major benefits. You're toning up that inside muscle to keep it nice and tight so it doesn't expand and so forth. We all know what that's called, see, and you're feeding the microbiome. So thank Alexia for those 2 pointers. And Alexia and I will see you tomorrow. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for having us. Bye-bye.